Hey everyone, welcome to Homeschool, and we have started with class 11 chemistry series. I started with the chapter Basic Concepts of Chemistry. In my previous video, I have covered concepts like atomic mass and molecular mass. We understood the actual meaning behind atomic mass values, isn't it? Say the meaning of the digits, atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So what do you mean by that 16? Oxygen atom is 16 times heavier than 1/12th part of carbon atom, right? And I have also asked you a question in the video that atomic mass of sodium is 23. What is the meaning? I told you to post the answer in the comments. And as I promised in the last video, I am announcing the person who has posted first in the comments. And the person is Vijay Sangam. So very good, Vijay, and keep it up and keep learning. And your opinion and your response is what makes us to do more and more videos. So keep posting your opinion and keep posting the answers in the comments, whichever the questions I ask you in the class. Fine. And today's topic is calculation of average atomic mass. First, let us know the importance of average atomic mass here. You see here, any element in our nature exists in different isotopic forms. Okay, you don't have one form of element in the nature. One element present in different forms. One element present in different ways. Clear? Say if you take up a carbon, if you take up an element carbon, we have different forms of carbon in our nature. Okay, say what are the three forms of carbon? Carbon 12 is there, carbon 13 is there, and carbon 14 is there. So these are different forms of carbon. These different forms of carbon has same atomic number. All the different forms of carbon have same atomic number. Okay, but they have different atomic masses. Different atomic masses. Clear? So that's the reason they are called as isotopes, right? The atoms of the element having same atomic number but different atomic mass is called isotopes, right? And then for many of the calculations in many of the areas, you need to use the atomic mass of element. And now you have three types of carbons in our nature. The first carbon is having atomic mass 12. The second form of carbon has atomic mass 13. Third form of carbon has atomic mass 14. So which carbon's atomic mass do you consider for your calculations? So in the future when I teach you many of the concepts, atomic mass we will use for many calculations. So whose atomic mass will you take up? Carbon 12, carbon 13 and carbon 14. So here comes a big doubt, right? So to solve this issue, we have something like average atomic mass. Okay, and you know what? We calculate average atomic mass with a particular formula. We are not taking atomic mass of one particular form. We are taking average atomic mass considering all the three forms. Okay, we are taking average atomic mass and that is the atomic mass we consider for the element. Clear everybody? So here we can't select one form of element, one form of element's atomic mass for our calculation. We have to consider all the three forms in our mind and we have to take average atomic mass of those elements. Okay, clear? Say there is a way of calculating average atomic mass. You have to consider their relative abundance also. To how much extent a particular isotope is present in our nature. All three forms are not equally present in our nature. In 100%, one form of carbon is present in highest amount. Okay, 98% of carbon belongs to one isotope. Okay, say like this, these three forms of isotopes are present to a different extent. Okay, say in a different percentage in our nature. Clear? That is what we mean by relative abundance. Clear? Say for example, we have a question here. There are two isotopes for chlorine. One is chlorine 35, the other one is chlorine 37. So this isotopic form of chlorine has atomic mass 35. This isotopic form of chlorine has atomic mass 37. Okay. And if I want to know what atomic mass, what average atomic mass that is there for this chlorine, I need to consider something like relative abundance in our formula. Relative abundance means what? Among the two chlorines, 75% of the chlorine is chlorine 35 and remaining 24% belongs to chlorine 37. So among the 100%, maximum amount of chlorine is of which type? The first isotopic type, that is chlorine 35, and remaining amount of chlorine is this type. Clear? So that's what we mean by relative abundance. That means in our nature, to how much percentage a particular isotopic form is present, that is called relative abundance. Okay, so we need to consider relative abundance and molecular mass, okay, for our formula, right? So now I'm giving you a formula to calculate average atomic mass. See, average atomic mass is calculated with this formula, summation of relative abundance into atomic mass of isotope. Okay, so you have two isotopes. So what you have to do, you have to add the product of relative abundance and atomic mass. Okay, so this is your formula to calculate average atomic mass. So you will understand the formula when I calculate with some example. Say you can watch this example here. See, this is what the information you will have in a question. They will provide you relative abundance and they will also provide you atomic mass. Okay, let me, instead of writing molar mass, let me write it as atomic mass. So this is the information. Atomic mass, in the sense, it is the atomic mass of single isotope. Okay, now we are finding average atomic mass of element, right? So given information is this. So now I will use this given information with the help of a formula, right? See, it is the summation of relative abundance into atomic mass, right? So take the first isotope. What is its relative abundance? 75.77, right? Remove that percentage. It is given in a percentage. Now remove that percentage. So what you will do? 75.77 divided by 100 into this isotope's relative percentage is this, and its atomic mass is 34.96. So multiply with 34.96. Okay, so this is the information of one isotope. Then add plus another isotope's information, you add. Clear? So what is the relative abundance of this isotope? 24.25, and remove a percentage. That means you will divide by 100 into atomic mass of this isotope is 36.96. That's it. Okay, so how many ever isotopes you have, that many isotopes information you must go on adding it. Okay, so what you have to add here? Relative abundance into atomic mass of isotopes, you should go on adding how many ever isotopes were there. Clear? That gives you average atomic mass of a particular element. So now, what is the average atomic mass of chlorine here? So when you do this calculation, you would be getting around 35.5. Okay, or unit U I can use, or AMU I can use. Clear? And you see, you have two isotopes. The first isotope's atomic mass 35. The second isotope's was 37. We are not considering any one value from this. We have taken average atomic mass. Okay, average atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5. So this is the atomic mass we will consider for chlorine. Okay, so in your periodic table, whatever atomic mass values are there for the elements, no, they are actually average atomic mass of the isotopes. Okay, every element has isotopes. So the isotopes average atomic mass, they have taken, and that they have put up in the periodic table. So these average atomic masses only we will use for the calculations. So actually the atomic mass of oxygen 16 we say. We know the meaning of 16, no doubt. But that 16, how it has come? Oxygen has 3 isotopes. The 3 isotopes average mass, average atomic mass, they took it as 16. Okay, and then we say the one oxygen atom is 16 times heavier than 1/12 part of carbon atom. That is the meaning of 16. Okay, but how 16 has come? There are 3 forms of oxygen. No, say which oxygen mass you took. You have not taken any one form's oxygen's mass. You have taken average of all the 3 isotopes of oxygen. Okay, so that's how you got your 16. And similarly here, there are 2 isotopic forms for chlorine. So average atomic mass of chlorine you took, that you calculated, and that's what we take the atomic mass for chlorine. Clear? Say, remember the formula. This is the formula to use for calculation of average atomic mass of any element. Okay, so that's all about average atomic mass. So in my next video, I will come up with the most important topic of the chapter, mole concept. We will discuss everything about mole and different formulas to use for various calculations relating to mole. Clear? Let us meet up quickly in the next video. Till then, take care and do subscribe our channel to learn the concept in a detailed way. Thank you so much.